Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal and we are discussing how easily the process of resolution through bankruptcy will go through. So Sapan, coming on the overall infrastructure and also information utilities was one of the big worries from the legal side in this particular process really going through. How big a trouble is it right now and will it really slow down the overall process?
Yes, so information utilities was one of the pillars of this code. The authentication by information utilities would have served as a proof of default.
Right.
So the regulations on IU, that's how we call them, came little late in the day. And it came with certain unexpected requirements like a foreign entity cannot hold more than 10%, which is against our FDI approach these days. So the companies that were interested in setting up IUs are not that active now. However, there are a couple of information utilities which are being set up. Right. On the legal process, it does have an effect, but the bankruptcy board has provided a transitional way of handling the proof of default. So the borrower will have one more opportunity to challenge.
Right.
If IU was in place, then he would have one less opportunity. So whether it will stop the process, it will not. Whether it can delay, yes, it can delay. So information utilities should be put together as fast as they can be.
All right. So Harish, 180 days, that's for the resolution process, and beyond that, liquidation. So that dagger is dangling on the head that there could be a liquidation. How many do you think would be really going in for liquidation? Or do you see that more and more companies are prone to resolutions? What's your experience on this?
So if I go by my portfolio which I am having, so I think about 60 to 65% of NPA which I am having are resolvable, so they can have solutions.
Is your 60 to 65% in that 12 bracket?
No.
Probably that
not
the RBI
12,
may have
not 12. Whatever I have acquired so far. So that is 80,000 crore of debt I have acquired. So I believe that 60-65% of that debt is a debt which can be resolved through the NCLT process, and balance things might go through the liquidation process.
Right.
But having said that, unless you go to NCLT with a plan, with a pre-plan, so it would be difficult for you to solve each and every problem of and reach the solution within 180 days. So therefore, homework needs to be done before you go there.
And what about the 6 months window for the rest of the 500 odd cases that are also there beyond these 12 big cases? I mean, is that window enough, and will the work be done in that one? Is it a good roadmap, and has RBI provided for enough direction on handling those as well?
The press release doesn't say that, but if you go by the infrastructure which NCLTs are having, as I mentioned earlier, I think there would be need to have specialized benches which can handle throughout the day these cases only and not devote a couple of hours in a day. 500 is a large number. So I don't know whether all the 500 will land there. So there may be, after 1 year you may have 1,000 cases in NCLTs. So therefore, more infrastructure needs to be created to handle that. And 180 days is sufficient time if you are going with a preparation.
All right. So a lot more infrastructure and all that needs to be done. But Sapan, coming to the guarantor of these bankrupt companies, what are they liable for? What does the law say?
So the guarantor can be divided in two parts, corporate guarantors and the personal guarantors. Under the code, you can start bankruptcy proceedings against the corporate guarantor, which will be specific to that company.
Right.
As far as personal guarantor is concerned, the code provides for them as well.
Right.
Is that you can go against individual guarantors. However, the regulations on that are still to be notified.
Okay.
So that is another part of the code which needs to be expedited.
All right. And how do you see this particular process now panning out, Harish? How soon do you see that some of these resolutions may really come about?
So I think 3-4 resolutions should come in the next 2-3 months. So whatever has been filed earlier. And now the cases which will be going to NCLT, they will be going with a lot of preparation. So I see that in the next 6 to 9 months, we should be seeing major resolutions happening, perhaps around these 12 cases. So the whole world will be seeing that how we perform about these 12 cases. And if we are able to do 8 to 9 resolutions in the next 1 year, I think the law would be considered as a success.
Apart from resolutions, Sapan, you and your firm would also be busy with lots of M&A around this?
That would be a second stage. Distressed M&A is an industry which will get a big boost with bankruptcy code. However, an M&A investor wants to have an opportunity to do diligence.
Yes.
Is there enough time to do that diligence? Do we have enough mechanism to do the right valuation? Can we trust the system to deliver it within 6 to 9 months? So all those questions are being asked by the M&A players. And yes, there is an interest, but that will develop based on the efficacy of the code as we go through. So the resolution which were mentioned will have a fair play for M&A funds, which we will see in the next few months or few years to come.
All right, and considering that we are still not clear about the haircut that the banks can take, oversight committee and its role and how much power they will wield, Harish, how easy is a resolution process and what are the challenges and hurdles that you see right now?
So I think we have joint lenders system, so where we are taking decisions. So I believe that everybody would be, going along with the joint lenders decision. So even whether oversight committee is there or not there. So even earlier we were finding solutions and implementing that. Now we will have additional stamp of the NCLT on that. So I think we would be comfortable in adopting that.
All right, so just the stamp of NCLT and the stamp and approval coming in from RBI to begin with in these accounts is enough to now for the resolution to go through, which has been tried and tested by banks for so many years.
Yeah,
you think?
I think so.
So that we are very clear about. That's a positive move, and it would really now fructify.
It is positive, and the proof is in actual execution. I think the stage is set, and we will only know once we have tried. Right. And I think this is the right time to try. And the code has come at the right time. Government is giving it the right push. So we are hopeful that in the next 6 to 9 months we will have positive answer. And the code should be looked at a way to come out with resolution rather than a winding up or a liquidation scenario.
But that is also the message sent across by the government when we spoke to various agencies in the government about this, that resolution is the prime aim, and if it doesn't happen, then liquidation is the threat in the end, because of which probably the resolution will happen. Thank you so much for your insights on this. We'll see how M&A resolution and everything really goes on. So lots to be discussed, lots to be seen on this particular bit, and we'll keep you updated on that. Thanks so much for joining us on Big Deal.